One shot. Let's begin. Mercy by Shiki Koyo. Um, alright, let's just begin. Let's see what it is 7 years ago. Mercy by Shiki Koyo. Elm Hunter. Angel. Sugary. Let's begin. Oh, that's too much. No, I'm not gonna read. We're not. That's too much. Let's go here. In a nightmarish world, people struggle to survive. Our young heroine will live again. Even I am awed. Mercy. No gods or man, only sin. And now, a question for you all. 500 years ago, when the first immortal descended into this world, what did all of you have to say? The rich said they should benefit me. The poor said they will bring wealth to us all. And both said, in the name of God, sins will be forgiven. Pray, O sinners, pray to God until the day of reckoning. We, the church, will arrest the immortals and their sympathizers with renewed fervor. Now, unto all of you may the grace of God be with you. Crunch. Flip. Flip. A. We found an immortal. The man who was just on the screen, Gabricio Termania, because he's a cardinal in the church. We were late in detecting him. The bastard's been using his position to kidnap large numbers of believers to use as guinea pigs. In the experiments using the pretext of arresting immortals of all things. He's holding them in the giant pit that used to be a cathedral. No one has seen him in person for 10 years. And they say the immortals hate the light. He's a bold one. Hey, what's it like being immortal? More than anyone else. I hate sin. Ooh, okay. Big chasm, walking down. Next out, you. Let's see. Do relax completely. Your heart, liver, kidneys, stomach, gallbladder, large and small intestines, along with your diaphragm, thyroid, gland lungs, cerebrum, cerebellum, and brainstem. When we take them out of you, you will be free. It'll be over soon. You're right about that. Who goes there, intruder? Splatter. Okay. Creak. Step, step. Unto God. Click. Atonement. The bodies of the dead. Connect. I fell in love. I fell in love with the first immortal. Someday, the light will shine peacefully upon our sins, and like the flowing clouds, everyone will change. But I will remain here. No gods or mans, only sins. In a place darker than darkness, darker than the abyss, a place where the light will never reach, the void. Let's see. Taramania. Smack, crunch, thump. The. Where did you? Blam. Leap. Click. Oh my. So it was you. Do it. Really, I didn't want it to be like this. I'm sorry. Immortality has nothing to do with it. Even I want to. Someday. Blam! Let's see. Someday, will a time come when eternal rest finds her soul as well? The end. Please look forward to Shika Koyo's next work. Man, my camera is way off. I'm like all the way at the edge of it. I need to adjust for how I read. Cause look at this, my face is completely off screen here. That's okay. There we go. There we go. Man, my chair is so far off where it should be. Whatever. So, um, I is this related to something? The Immortals were at 400 years ago. The winner of this. I mean, this was a good art comic. I reviewed the work of the previous content. I have to say, I really think he has talent for art. The beginning of the story is great, but the development into the latter efforts are a little harder to understand. I think he should work on trying to explain the story without drawing too much. Translator's note: a mangaka well known for the Spirit of Wonders as well as for being the artist of Memories of Emon, approximately $6,000. Editorial department. Unable to draw everything, his brushstrokes leave margins of emptiness that tug at the reader's imagination. He's also reduced the clutter that made his previous submission difficult to read. His new work is clean, stylish, and appealing. Real happiness passes by me in a moment. I have to prepare to create something new before a new sadness arrives. This time I have the great happiness of receiving an amazing award of which I am undeserving. Therefore, I must draw. Okay. So they're one thing. Okay, that's an interesting critique, and I've never it's about what he's not drawing in the empty spaces too. So yeah, a very talented artist. And I mean, I don't. I mean, so I guess this is the example like show don't tell, right? Where they're going, and then she's killing them all, and then because they're harvesting the organs for the once love this person had, right? Like click click, and then okay, this was the old guy. He's trying to stay alive forever based on all the organs here, which sure makes sense. And then he goes and tries to kill her. Um, and then they shoot him. And I'm guessing this was his lover, right? This is the person he fell in love with, the first immortal. Um, okay. I think it's a pretty solid story. I think the art really does carry this story. I'm not saying that it's a bad story necessarily. The art is just incredible. It's well done here. This is like one of those monthly mangas where like, whoa, this person's talented here. Okay, through the tree's leaves. So really talented. I like it. Um, in terms of the actual story, I feel like this would be better animated. The way it is, cause like with how fast I get through this story, it um yeah, I just get through this story a little too fast here, right? And I think that's fine. Like it's a show don't tell type of thing. I don't think the story was too hard to follow. I feel like it was pretty clear for the most part. I guess the implication that like this is like, oh, okay. Um that hey, we were lovers and then boom. I just feel like it's not necessarily too explored, and honestly that silence is probably part of why it works pretty well, right? Is that like we don't hear this person's thoughts too much. We just see things happen again and again. We see these people enslaved here. We see this world here, right? Like we see people getting killed again and again and again. So all of this is just kind of built upon the idea of a post-futuristic world. And yeah, I do think this would just be better animated, as you could see a bit more of the soundtrack could carry a bit more of the sound of the footsteps here, the little click, click, click of the record player. I think it all could do very, very well together, you know? Like, and again, this is where I'm not appreciating this art enough, because I mean, just look at this scene here. You could see the beautiful detail they put into everything. You could see the beautiful face detail. You could see everything. And perhaps this is something I would need to read in like an actual magazine to hold on to it and slow down. Because on the computer, I do tend to move significantly faster,
right? And then there's like lots of details. You're like, look at that there, all the dead people up there, right? And then catching them, and then, whoop, I don't know why she does that, but I assume she has some sort of power, and then shoots him, right? So yeah, um, good art. It's a lot of left to the imagination. What sort of? Not really. It's minimal dialogue. I will say that. Minimal dialogue is good. It's solid, and I guess that's everything then, right? I don't have too much to say about this. It's about the church, about faith, about what would happen to somebody who's immortal, right? And then the pseudo immortality of people trying to become immortal. I guess the hypocrisy of the church as well. And I think this is something that if I look more in depth with, I could truly like find depths and depths of meaning of it. Where it's like, hey, look at the church being hypocritical, immortal, right? And if we're just nothing but sin and God's abandoned us, wait a minute, sin, immortality, isn't that supposed to be a good thing? Or is it that we're supposed to stray away from God, right? And that we're supposed to die, and this immortal's desire to die, right? So I think there's a lot of potentially interesting ideas here that I could grapple with if I sat here and thought about it a little bit more. And I could understand why they didn't want to write about it too much, right? So I don't know. I wouldn't say this is bad. I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I think it's a solid piece of work. Um, and I guess that's relatively it, to be honest here. Looks like they did do some cool stuff later on here, and they got published, which is awesome. Relatively recently, or at least relatively recently translated. A boy killed by a superhero decided to become a Dark Walker, saving the world by destroying the world. Nice. And then if I just check this here, let me just go and glance through this. See, this is type of the stuff that, like I typically do when it comes to newer mangaka or like just any manga to see how long it is. I like this art a little bit more. You can see it's a little more polished and a little less harsh from what I could tell. Like it seems a little bit cleaner, but you still have the depth lines of the face, and it is unique to this person, right? Like in how they do their art. So I do like this. I think that like this is kind of reminiscent of the old page, or their old style. Like, okay, it's a little bit rougher here on this set and the other, which is fine. Well, with this one too, I think the maybe it's because it's the unpolished nature of it that kind of bothers me. Like it's a lot harsher of a world. Like all these excess light and excess ink, I think it really adds to the page, but in a way that I think that a cleaner approach might have been a little bit better. But this is their one shot, so of course we're gonna add all this extra detail, right? Um, yeah, I guess that. Let me just check this before I start judging them more so. Yeah, the scans are about the same. Okay. Well, I guess that's everything. So with all that being said, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for being born, y'all. Peace out.